Hi, my name is Elise. I'm a member of Mr. Cochran's class, and me and Lizzie are working on the history and property part of this Milliken Mills project. It all starts like this. The following is a pictorial history of the creation of the Milliken Mills area in Old Orchard Beach, Maine. Starting with the family tree, at the top of the tree is Hugh Milliken, arrived in America in 1665. Later, Isaiah Milliken, Hugh's fifth great-grandson, purchased the Mill Pond area in 1798 and began its development.
Hello, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Charles Nason Milliken. I'm the great-grandson of Michael Nason Milliken, the man who built the brick house at the Milliken Mills Pond area in 1834 when he was 15 years old. The first photograph in this display is a picture of the old lumber mill that dates back into the early 1800s, and the picture illustrates the end of the lumber mill that faces the mill pond and the ramp that the logs are dragged up over in order to go into the sawmill. The second photograph illustrates a picture of the lumber mill after it went through major remodeling. The water dam at the pond was increased in height to provide more water power, and the larger mill was designed so that it could produce more lumber. I've been told by my father that once the mill was in operation, it actually doubled the output of the mill pond. The men pictured in the foreground are part of the crew that worked at the mill pond. Back in 1870, these mills employed as many as 140 people. This photograph depicts the crew at the mill that worked in the woods logging trees to go into the sawmills. This is only one of several crews that worked every day harvesting trees. The small boy on the left-hand side of the picture is Franklin Milliken, who was born and lived at the brick house for many years. The young fellow with the dog, Max, is my father, John Nason Milliken, about 15 years old in this picture, which dates the picture to about 1907. Behind him, or behind the oxen in the light-colored straw hat, is my grandfather, Henry Milliken. This photograph shows the mill pond full of logs that have been brought in from various woodlots in the area. These logs are in the water waiting to go into the mill for sawing. One of the reasons they stored them in the water was it repelled bugs from boring holes in the logs before they got to the sawmill. This is a photograph taken around 1900. The gentleman on the left is Michael Nason Milliken, the man who built the brick house at Milliken Mills, and sitting beside him is his brother Benjamin Milliken. This photograph is of the brick house built in 1834 by Michael Nason Milliken. The history of this house starts with Michael at the age of 12 walking to Boston and then getting a job with the South Boston Brick Company, then working for 2 years with a brick mason. Returned to Old Orchard and began building this house at the age of 15. He began by digging clay from the riverbanks, and he located a red ochre deposit nearby and used it to make the bricks red. This is a picture of the box factory that was located about 300 yards from the sawmill. In this factory, boards were sawn into thin slabs and built into fold-down wooden boxes that were sent to Florida for orange crates. In the front row of this picture, on the second from the left, is my father's brother, Charlie Milliken, who worked at the mill approximately 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, for $1 a day.
Our class hopes you have enjoyed this historical presentation. We also encourage you to visit this area, where you can sit by the pond, catch a fish, or walk its woodlands paths.